Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to everyone to the 11th episode of the Sathya Sai Story. The story of our beloved Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, our Swami, after the growth of Satya to Sai. There come times in our lives when we feel very low, when we feel dejected, when we feel sad. While all of us would have gone through these phases and stages, some of us go through it more extensively and more intensively than the others. This leads some of us to feel that enough is enough. We don't want to lead this life anymore. There is this popular song that we used to sing to Swami when dark clouds fill the skies, hiding sunshine from our eyes. When life seems so unfair and no one seems to care. When things are getting rough and you feel enough's enough. At such moments, the song says, hold on to Swami, say his name, see his form, hold on. But we feel like we don't want to hold on, we just want to be done with life. We don't want life anymore. Suicidal tendencies creep in. It is not good to have these tendencies. In fact, Swami had once made a devotee travel 6,000 miles to protect another devotee from suicide. In case you have not had a look at that, you can see that at this link above. While all this is fine, can you believe it when I say that there came a stage in Swami's life in 1948 when Swami too lost all interest in leading life and decided to take Samadhi. Shocking, but true. But the difference here is, while we feel like we have had enough and we don't want life, at the nadir of our lives, at the bottommost point in our lives, Swami felt this when there was a growth, extensive growth in his popularity, and there was an intensive growth in the travels that he was doing to different kingdoms. How did it happen? What happened? Why did it happen? To understand and appreciate all of that and to gain valuable insights, let us go through stage by stage from where we left off at the previous episode. In case you're coming new to this serial, you can have a look at all the episodes so far in this linked playlist above. We are now in the beginning of the year 1948. In the previous episodes, we had mentioned how the Maharani of Sandur, Srimati Sushila Devi Ghorpade, had Swami's darshan in the January of 1948, and Swami had told her to come to Puttaparthi along with her husband, the Maharaja. In February 1948, she had a dream in which she saw her Guruji, that is Shri Hiralal Maharaj, along with Shirdi Sai Baba, her next Guru, and also Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, her latest Guru. She saw all of them become one, and she got reminded of Swami's invitation to her to come to Puttaparthi. She got up and told her husband, Shri Yashwantrao Hindurao Ghorpade, that let us go to Puttaparthi. This is the dream I had, all the Gurus are one. He did not give too much importance to the Maharani's dream, but he agreed to her wish and he decided that he too would travel to Puttaparthi. But then, in the February of 1948, as they were planning this trip, he got summoned to the capital city of India, New Delhi. Back then it was just called Delhi. And well, we know that this was the time when India was preparing to become a republic, and therefore all the kingdoms were being annexed into the country. And this is the time when the Maharaja knows he is losing his kingdom, Sandur. So he had to go to Delhi, and therefore they could not travel to Puttaparthi. The Maharani felt that she owes Swami an explanation, and therefore she wrote a detailed letter and prayed to Swami to forgive her. And she decided to have this letter hand delivered. A messenger travelled all the way from Sandur towards Puttaparthi by train and bus in order to hand over this letter to Swami. You see, dear brothers and sisters, everything that happens is part of Swami's master plan. Each mistake or each episode where something is supposed to happen and it doesn't happen is also a part of his plan in order to bring and bless more devotees. The Maharaja's inability to go to Puttaparthi in February became a blessing for this messenger who was carrying the Maharani's letter. He was in a bus on his way to Bukkapatnam. After this, he has to get down and go to Puttaparthi. Suddenly, he saw that the bus had been halted. And he found out that a car had drawn up right in front of the bus, blocked the bus. And that was Swami's car. Everybody was saying, Swami's car, Swami's car. And Swami had asked for one particular messenger from the Sandur Maharani who is in the bus to come down and hand over the letter to him. Swami was on his way to Madras as recorded by Shri V. Balu in his book. So on the way, Swami had taken a detour, come and intercepted this bus, and he is asking for this letter. This man, the messenger, got down from the bus and he handed over the letter. Swami didn't even open the letter and directly told that man, go and tell the Maharani that she can come whenever she can. There is no hurry, there is no need to feel bad. And Swami blessed this messenger who, needless to say, became a devotee of Swami. He went back to Sandur with awe and admiration and a wonder, a sense of wonder at how Swami knew everything. Swami's omniscience, omnipotence and omnipresence. Now, as I said, at this point in time, Swami was going to Madras. What happened in Madras? I have no idea because I have not come across any documentation of it so far. Like I said in the previous episode, Swami had been in a flight and travelled to Vishakhapatnam and then to Bobili. And we have no idea about Swami's visit to the Bobili kingdom. So many of these travels have gone undocumented, and what we are enjoying today are those few that have been documented. The Maharani was thrilled at Swami's message, and at the next available opportunity, which happened to be on the 29th of February 1948, yes, 1948 was a leap year, she came to Puttaparthi and Swami blessed her by materializing a leaf-shaped ivory medallion on which there was baby Krishna. She was delighted and thrilled. After this, again on the 22nd of March 1948, the Maharani travelled to Puttaparthi along with her in-laws, Shrimant Sardar Bhujangrao Appa Saheb Ghorpade, her father-in-law, and her mother-in-law Tarabai Saheb Ghorpade. And this time when they came to Puttaparthi, Swami asked the Maharani to hold out and receive a gift from him. As was the practice, she stretched her sari. Swami said, not your sari, show your hand. And then placed his palm on her hand, and there was something which sent shock waves through her entire being. She had an experience of immeasurable bliss. And then when Swami raised his hand, she saw in her palm was a beautiful idol of Lord Subramanya, who is the family deity of the Sandur royal family. Swami presented her with this idol and told her that this idol would help her when she travelled to Delhi. At that point in time, she had no clue, no idea why she would travel to Delhi. As we have dealt with in the previous episode, she had to travel later on in order to plan this annexation of the Sandur kingdom into the Indian Republic. And we already saw how Swami took care of this royal family by giving them another kingdom to rule. Swami had told them, your kingdom is getting bigger, and they took over the Sandur mines from a European company. And even to this day, Sandur Mines and Iron Ore Limited is a listed company in India which is doing very well because of its ethical management and its wonderful practices. Finally, the Maharaja got an opportunity to travel and visit Swami in Puttaparthi. Since Swami had said, come whenever you can, they didn't even send an early intimation or any kind of message that they are coming. They just started off and they landed up in Puttaparthi. They landed on the other side of the Chitravati river where all the cars had to be parked, and now they had to cross this shallow river on foot. Even as they are crossing, what do they see on the other banks? Swami is there. How can we ever surprise Swami? Swami who knows every little bit, not unaware of anything. He is absolute awareness himself. So, The Maharaja was pleasantly surprised that Swami was there to welcome him. Not only that, Swami had got accommodation set up in the royal manner for them already. Not just that, a royal feast had been cooked for them to welcome them. It was a pleasant surprise for all of them, and they were just bowled over by Swami's hospitality. Accepting this hospitality, the Maharaja couldn't help himself but invite Swami to come to Sandur. He said, Swami, you must come, please grace our palace at Sandur. And Swami promised him that he would do so. Not only that, from the sands of the river Chitravati, Swami manifested a pendant for the Maharaja, a pendant in which there was Shirdi Baba, to whom the Maharaja was very attached. And in the heart of Shirdi Baba was Swami, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. So, with this blessing, Swami sent the Maharaja and his entourage back to Sandur, and this happened sometime in March of 1948. In the June of 1948, Swami actually travelled to Sandur. To be precise, it was on the 17th of June. The previous day, on the 16th of June, the mother of the Maharaja, that is the mother-in-law of the Queen, she arrived to Puttaparthi, and she was there to be part of Swami's entourage to travel to Sandur. She performed Pada Puja to Swami and sought his blessings, after which Swami left in the entourage to Sandur on the 17th of June. He was welcomed at the new palace at Sandur. The old palace to new palace shift had taken place in 1941, and they were all residing, the royal family, at the new palace. So Swami was welcomed at the doorstep of the new palace by the Maharaja and Maharani, and they worshipped Swami's lotus feet and drank the holy water washings as tirtham. They welcomed him, and it was as if their family deity is visiting them, for indeed Swami had become their family deity. They welcomed him into the palace. Swami went to every nook and corner of the palace, blessing every room with his presence. Then Swami inquired about the Maharaja's throne. Interestingly, the Maharaja's throne had been still left at the old palace. Swami told him to get it to the new palace and start using it. And being a loving devotee that he had now become, he prayed to Swami to sit on the throne, and he said, Swami, you are the Maharaja, you are the Rajadhi Raja, you are the King of Kings, you are the Lord of Lords. And to make them happy, Swami sat on the Raja Simhasana, the entire family gathered around him. There are these photographs also taken of that time. This was symbolic of the Maharaja offering the Simhasan of his heart, the Hridaya Simhasan, to Swami. He surrendered completely to Swami, and that is the reason why when the actual annexation of the kingdom happened, when Sandur ceased to be a kingdom anymore, the family was not affected negatively at all. They were very positive, they were very cheerful, they were very calm, they were serene in the love and grace of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. That is the magical effect of surrender. That is why Swami has given us this beautiful prayer of surrender, isn't it? In case you have not watched it, that prayer is at this link above. Swami stayed at Sandur for 4 days. One of those nights, everyone in the royal family along with Swami were on the terrace of the palace. Suddenly, Swami again called out to the Maharani and told her, "Hold out, here is something that is coming." Again, as is her practice, she stretched out her sari. Swami said, "Not sari, get a big towel." And so she rushed in and got a big towel, and Swami gave her something that was so hot. She could feel the heat through the towel, and she wondered, how is it that Swami was holding an object that is so hot? Later, when the towel was opened, everyone could see a beautiful idol, a 7-inch idol of Lord Shri Krishna. This is what Swami had materialized, and then Swami himself installed this at the royal palace, and the worship to this Lord continues. All this happened in the June of 1948. After the 4 days, the royal family travelled along to drop Swami back to Puttaparthi. Now, here is an interesting story that also happened. You see, the Maharaja had an 8-day camp That means a military person who is there as an assistant, a secretary and a friend traveling along with him all the while. He was a Muslim by the name Captain S.A. Jabbar Sahib. Now, Captain Jabbar Sahib, believing only in the formless divine Allah, did not accept Swami as God or anything like that. But what to do? His Maharaja has pledged his heart to him, and so he was forced to be in Swami's presence. One day in Puttaparthi, Swami called Captain Jabbar Sahib for an interview. Interview means not a separate room. There was just a curtain that would be parted, and Swami and this person getting the interview would go behind the curtain and Swami would close the curtain. Once they were there, it was only Captain Jabbar Sahib and Swami. Swami unbuttoned his robe and exposed his chest. And there on the divine chest, emblazoned in golden light letters in Urdu script, were the words Allahu Akbar. And as Captain Jabbar had this darshan, he was awestruck, he was dumbstruck, he couldn't believe his eyes. He was so stunned that he collapsed unconscious in a daze. He was lost in the bliss of this darshan of his Allah. This is possibly the closest one can come to having the darshan of Allah. And Swami had to materialize Vibhuti and apply it on his forehead to revive him. And once he revived, needless to say, he fell straight at Swami's lotus feet, tears in his eyes, joy oozing out of his heart. Sometime later, his wife also expressed a desire to see Swami. She was suffering a lot from malaria, but her heart yearned to have a similar experience like her husband. So, Captain Jabbar took his wife also for Swami's darshan. Swami blessed her. Swami materialized a locket for her as well. And again, needless to say, within days, she was totally cured of her malaria and she too became a devotee of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. In this period of time, Swami also travelled to Coorg in Karnataka, and there Swami visited Sakamma's bungalow. Swami stayed there. In case you have missed the life story of Srimati Doddamane Sakamma, the third mother to our beloved Swami, you can have a look at it at this link above. From there, Swami travelled to the town of Shimsa. He stayed at the traveller's bungalow there. Swami also visited Shivasamudram. Shivasamudram is a large hydroelectric project these days, and Swami stayed overnight there. In short, dear brothers and sisters, Swami travelled very far and wide. Swami had multiple royal families coming to him seeking his grace and blessings. The number of devotees flowing in were increasing. Devotees of Lord Shiva, devotees of Lord Vishnu, devotees of the Mother, devotees of Allah, Muslims, all had started coming to Swami, and Swami's rise was rapid during this phase. So much so that his body began to show signs of travel and fatigue. He became thin, he began to appear weak, and as Professor Kasturi, another devotee who came to Swami in 1948, his story is so beautiful. How he came to Swami has been beautifully captured at this link above, and we will go a little bit into his story in the next episode. That Professor Kasturi records in Ishwaramma, the chosen mother, that it appeared as if Swami was feeling the weight of his bushy crown of hair on his neck. It would be drooping. Basically what happened was, Swami seemed absolutely disinterested in anything. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to speak to anyone. Suddenly this phase came over. At the peak of all interactions, Swami totally cut off. He became solitary. And he began to speak about taking Mahasamadhi. This shocked everybody. What is this Swami is saying? Sakamma and Savitramma went and pleaded to Swami on behalf of all the devotees. Please Swami, please, for our sake, don't take Samadhi. Swami smiled and Swami said, don't worry. And Swami came out of this phase. And then Swami indicated that this is something that is common to all avatars. It had happened to Lord Rama, it had happened to Lord Shirdi Baba. In fact, when we look at the Ramakatha Rasavahini, which I consider as the autobiography of Lord Rama because Sai Rama has written it, In that also we will see when the four princes Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna complete their education at the ashram of sage Vashishta and return to the kingdom, the emperor Dasharatha sends Rama and Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna on the tour of the entire kingdom so that they can see and learn. After they return, Rama becomes very pensive. He becomes solitary. He's not talking to anyone. He's all by himself. He's not playing. He's not chatting. He's not doing anything. And everyone thinks that Lord Rama, Prince Rama, is in depression. Everybody tries to speak him out of it and nobody is successful. The Maharaja, that is Dasharatha, is not able to bring him out of this state. The mothers are not able to do anything. And finally they all turn to sage Vashishta. Sage Vashishta goes to Rama and asks him, why are you not talking to anyone? And Lord Rama asks, who is anyone? Who is everyone? Isn't this by nature? Who is other in this universe? Isn't me everything? You see, dear brothers and sisters, in the Ramayana there is a portion that comes as the Yoga Vashishta. Commonly it is said that Lord Rama had many dilemmas and doubts, and sage Vashishta clarified all of these to Rama. And this dialogue between Rama and Vashishta is called the Yoga Vashishtam. But then, when we read the Ramakatha Rasavahini, we realize that it is not that Rama had any doubts. He was just proclaiming his true self. He is Ajam Nirvikalpam Nirakara Rupam. He is the one who is beyond. He is eternal. He is timeless. He is the Atma, Atma Rama, Ananda Ramana. He is lost in an inner bliss. There is no need for smiles and interactions or anything like that. And this sage Vashishta recognizes and he says, yes, O Rama, yes, you are in the truth. And this truth has to be communicated to all. So when we see the Ramakatha Rasavahini, we see this dialogue where Lord Rama reveals to sage Vashishta his true nature. It is not as if sage Vashishta brings him out of depression. And that is why in the Ramakatha Rasavahini, Swami calls the Yoga Vashishta as the Rama Gita. It is the Gita given by Lord Rama. This is the Gita given by Sai's Gita that Swami gave to Professor Kasturi and also to those devotees at that point in time who told him, Swami, please don't take Samadhi. Swami revealed, and this has been recorded by Professor Kasturi in Ishwaramma, the Chosen Mother. Swami said, this body has to be prepared for the Avataric tasks that are going to come. You will see magnificent and stupendous activities and tasks that will be achieved by this body. In order to contain that divine energy, that divine spirit, the body has to be readied. This was the period of readying the body. So you see, dear brothers and sisters, when we feel at the nadir of our life that we want to give up the body, we are looking at escapism. Swami was not doing escapism. Swami was preparing. Swami was preparing for the grand launch, the grand Avataric mission that all of us have been beneficiaries of. With that, let us bring this episode to a close, reminiscing and thinking about how much Swami has done and keeps doing for all of us every moment of our lives. Dear Swami, may the love that we have for you in our hearts keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.